Hey guys, this is Ryan, Spencer, and Jason from the Untouchables, and for the first time in the Untouchables history, we're finally planning our first ghost investigation. That will be at Minnehaha Park in Spokane, Washington. Now, we are doing a pre-video. We decided to bring up not only the history of the park, the people who have purchased property from the park when it first opened all the way up until now. And we are also going to be discussing the rumors about the park. So, let's get started. Okay, so at one point, the home in the beginning, in the late 1890s, the home was purchased by a gentleman by the name of Edgar J. Weber. He was actually a lawyer in practice when he moved to Spokane in the late 1890s. Yeah, and when he moved to this property, he discovered that it had spring water and spring water minerals in the water. Like it had all kinds of special minerals.
Yeah.
So then later on in the late 1890s, about 1896, he turned it into a spa. It became a medical spa for people. And at that time, it was doing good for him. And then eventually it turned, he sold the land to Mr. and Mrs. Huber, something to that effect. Still in the late 1890s, so he only owned the property for a small period of time. That old stone building was actually his original house. So then they bought the property, and they actually were brewing out of it. They were making a brewery out of the spring water mineral until Spokane City itself purchased the property in 1909. And then from 1909 to 1913, it was for park purposes. But they didn't actually start building a park till 1924.
Oh, wow. You're fired!
So, basically, between 1918 and 1924, it was sitting there. And actually, a lot of companies, of course, back then, as you know, it was black and white, motion films. A lot of motion films were filmed between that time period, 1918 and 1924, in that park. Now, I couldn't dig up any information on what video or what movies or anything. Now, just so you guys know, where I got this information was the Spokane historical websites. I refuse to go on other ones because I want facts about this property.
Not bogus stuff.
Crap.
Like Wikipedia.
And then so between 1924 and the 1940s, it pretty much was just a park. It had a swimming pool, a playground, swings, etc. And then in the 1940s is when the neighborhood, it turned into a neighborhood and started to actually get developed around it.
Yeah.
Now, those are actual facts about the property that I was able to dig up. As it goes for rumors, the rumors is in the late 1880s, so on Wikipedia it said in 1889, the dance hall right next to the stone building, which was owned by, Edgar or Weber, Weber, it was burned down, is what the rumor said. But the reason why I'm classifying that as a rumor is what's weird is in Wiki, it said it, but in the actual historical website, it said nothing about the dance hall.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of confused on what happened there. And furthermore, the one that most people actually look at Minnehaha for is the rumors of the ghost stories. Now, the rumors on that goes is that there are children haunting the stone building and the playground of the property, which was a total of, if I dug it up correctly and got my history right, it was a total of 46 to 49 acres of property, and that they haunt that piece of land. But the weird thing is that they say it's from an orphanage. It's kids from an orphanage, but there was no orphanage ever reported on that property anywhere.
Yeah.
So At all. So why would there be rumors of children haunting this building if there was never an orphanage?
Yeah.
Unless the Weber guy, in the small time he owned that piece of land, maybe something happened to his kids or something. Because when I looked up his stuff, nothing came up on him. I couldn't dig that's as far as I could freaking dig. And
Oh.
in order for us to dig harder, we would have to spend at least 2 days at the library downtown. And I still doubt we would find anything. Records from 1890s and through the 30s and 40s, they really barely had any records in this town of shit.
Yeah.
I realized. So, I'm hoping we can kind of make the rumors just rumors when we do this investigation, and figure out that there really is nothing there. And what it is it's just hearsay. But you never know.
The
Because-
power of editing.
What we're planning on... No, this is going to be raw footage.
No, I know, but people.
Our credibility for ghost investigation is 0. So I want to make it as credible as we can for our first go-around. And what we're planning on doing is there's 3 sections to the park. You got the front of the park, the upper part, which is where the building is, and then you got the woods. Spencer, you're going to be on the lower part, keeping an eye out for people and stuff, so if there's background noise, we don't call it an EVP when it's just someone
It's
talking.
just a Karen screaming at, oh my gosh, guys, you hear that ghost? It's going wild.
Exactly. I'm going to be manning the upper
Yeah.
part with the stone building and checking out that area.
Yeah.
Jason, you're going to be up in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to dig up as much as you can up in the woods. Because I couldn't find anything about hearing children's voices in the woods. But that stone building that's in that property is where most of the activity is from.
Yeah.
So if we have one person on each section of the land, we should be able to cover the whole land at once instead of having to go bit by bit by bit. Is the plan. So there you go, guys. That's kind of what we're planning. I'm hoping it goes well. I personally don't think we're going to find anything after digging up what I dug up on the property.
Yeah.
The history is very kind of mundane, if that makes any sense. It's pretty usual for Spokane as it goes for the 1800s. Because Spokane's a very new city. It wasn't founded till, I believe, what was it, 1850 something? 40?
I think
1840 something. It's really not that old of a city. I mean,
Yeah.
it's old, but it's not like
concerning, like.
yeah, it's not
old.
like these Gettysburg.
So.
It's not something that was established in 1780 and all it had was war through the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
This was a town that originally was
Never
founded
changes.
for fur trapping.
Yep.
As I call it, a mini dairy. Because that's what this town is. It literally is a mini
Every
dairy.
time we try to go camp
Yeah.
and something bad happens.
Yeah, every time we've tried to do something here, something bad goes wrong. This town is a dairy. People turn their blind eye to the most weirdest shit on the planet. So, anywho, that's what we have planned. That's what we have going on. And hopefully this investigation goes well.
Oh yeah.
And we will see you all in the video.
No.
Bye.